This is the Quest Q30 metal detector, and this is a return shipping label. Let's talk about it. Hey guys, welcome back. Joey again, Vegas D-Tech. We're back in the lounge. This is Tech Talk number 33. And today we're just going to go ahead and give you a little quick review on the Quest Q30. I took it out, I reviewed it for one day. And after one day, I made a decision that it just need to go back. Alright. Luckily, I've been, I buy all of my stuff from Serious Detecting, and they have a really good return policy. 99% of the stuff that I buy from them, I keep. But it's nice knowing that if there's something wrong with it, I can actually email them back and tell them I'm having a situation, this is the problem, and without any questions, they send me back a label and tell me put it back in the box, send it to us, and we'll issue you a refund. So guys, because of the customer service here, man, I would recommend if you guys are going to buy something online, give Serious Detecting a call. Those guys there have been wonderful. Alright, getting into it. What's going on with the Q30? Why am I returning it? Well, I know you guys are thinking, Joey, come on, be for real, man. You cannot review a detector in one day. That's true. You can't give it a true review, but I can give it a test drive. And after giving the Q30 a test drive, the main problem with the Q30 is the Q40. Yeah. The Q40 is just a better detector. I've already had this detector here. I bought the Q30 because it's been redesigned, right? This Q40 right here, I believe came out in like, this model came out in like, I want to say 2017, 2018, something like that. And this right here this is supposed to be, the newest line of detectors that they have out here that started coming out in 2020. And I wanted to, I wanted to give it a shot, man, because I mean, it just looks really good, man. I mean, if you take a look at it there, it has almost the same layout and configuration as the as the Equinox. But I have an Equinox, so why am I pissing around with these, off-brand, whatever? Why do I do that? Well, because I already told you guys, man, the Equinox, it had its one chance, man. And now every time I bring the Equinox somewhere, I have to bring a backup detector just in case it hits EMI. That's the biggest thing that I hate about it. And it just sits there, and it really makes me mad, because I go over there and I turn it on and I look at it, I'm like, man, what a beautiful machine. This thing should be the flagship of everything that I own. I mean, it is the most expensive of all the detectors that I have over there, but I just don't use it. I just don't use it, man, because I just don't like all the annoying EMI blips that I get from it. I mean, will I go back out there and use it eventually? Yeah. I will. Once I get my brain wrapped around the fact that it's going to make EMI noises. But that being said, the main reason that I'm giving the Q30 back is there's things that I do like about the Q30. So for those of you guys out there that wanted me to do a review on it, for the one day that I had it, the reason that I'm giving it back right away, guys, is number one, it had a couple of defects. First of all, it sounds good when it's in the house. When you turn it on and you hear the speaker, it sounds okay in the house because it's quiet in here, right? But when I actually take it out to the park and I have the speaker turned all the way up, I can barely hear it. And I'm like, what is going on here, man? I got the speaker cranked all the way up, and just the design of it, compared to, and I tried to study it. I compared it to the Q40, the speaker. The speaker's not that big. It's just like about the size of a quarter. But the way this grill right here is, the way it's cut out, it allows sound to disperse out in all, like in all angles. It'll just make the sound explode. Whereas this guy right here, I don't know if you can catch it in the camera, but the back of it is pretty flat. And the speaker sits down below here just like this, and it's just round and it's flat. And the problem that I'm having with that is that if I put my hand behind the speaker and I hit a target, the sound bounces off my hand to me and I can hear it and it's loud. I remove my hand and I let it beep and it's so painstakingly low that it's just, I'm just like struggling to try to turn the volume up in my head to try to make it work. Okay, so that right there was like, look, I tried resetting it, turning it off, nothing mattered. Undoing the coax cable, plugging it back in, doing a hard reset, didn't matter. The volume, the ambient sound at the parks that I were at, if there's any wind coming through the trees, if there's a parkway, most of the parks that I'm at, there's a parkway that people are driving out in front of the park, and the sound of the cars going by, you just couldn't hear it. So then I just tried to take the headphones that came with it, I plugged it in, put it on my ears, nothing. The sound kept coming out of the control box, nothing from the jack. So I tried 2 or 3 different headphones and I kept plugging it in and still nothing came out of the jack. So there it is there, man. That was it for me. You know, metal detecting is all about sound and audio, and if the audio is too low and the headphones that they gave me, if the port in the back doesn't work, that constitute refundage. But not only that, okay, so we're talking, that was the defective reason why I'm giving it back. But the biggest problem that I had with it when I was using it is, check it out, man. Every detector has its nuances, right? A nuance. What is a nuance? It's like, normally a nuance is annoying. It's something that it does particularly wrong, and you don't like it. You have to try to work your way through it, and if you can, then great. You're gonna, you know, you'll keep it. If you can't, it's annoying. You'll get rid of it. Well, the biggest nuance that it had over the Q40 was the discrimination notches. Now, guys, everybody's on the fence about this. Should you discriminate? Should you notch? Should you not notch? Right? And I know everybody's telling me, dude, don't notch anything because you're going to miss something. Well, there's one thing that I don't care if I miss. Alright? And the thing that I do not care if I miss are these pennies. Alright? Now, what I made here is I made a discrimination VDI bar of pennies. Okay, here's an actual a good penny, right? The true penny. Now, the true zinc penny on this scale, because it goes from 0 to 100, the penny rings in at 68. Okay, 68 solid. All right, but if you try to discriminate just that penny out, it ain't gonna work, because each one of these pennies is a different degradation or corrosion value. All right, as the penny corrodes, it kicks up a different VDI number. All right, if a camera can focus, a different VDI number. So when I go to notch this thing out, when I notch the one penny out on the Q30, I have to end up notching 18 VDI numbers. Okay, in order to notch all this stuff out right here, 18 VDI numbers gets notched out. So everything from 50 all the way to 68. Okay, so on this bar right here, 50 starts right here in the middle, and then let me see, from here damn near all the way across to here. From there all the way to there. If I notch the pennies out, I gotta notch all of that out, because the VDI spectrum is pretty wide. It's too fat. It's like, I think the VDI spectrum on that is 4. The Simplex is even worse when it comes to notching, because if you notch on the Simplex, it knocks out bars of 5. So if you see one number that you hate and you notch it, you've notched out 5 numbers. Okay, so the thing that's really good about the Q40 when it came to that was that I can notch out all those pennies. Okay, I notch out one bar to try to notch out these pennies, and what it actually comes out to is the penny rings in at 78 through 70 through 78. So I have to lose 8 VDI numbers. Okay, 8 VDI numbers, but in doing that, I can notch all of that crap out of my hunt. I don't have to hear none of it. Whereas with the Q30, I'd have to lose 18. So what would you rather lose? 18 VDI numbers or 8 VDI numbers? I get to keep 10. So that was one of the nuances right there, because all I have to do is go into this this discrimination bar, which is on the side right here. On this, they run up along the side, and all I got to do is I just notch out one, and I might notch out the one below it. If I notch out the 2 bars there, I notched out only 8 numbers. And I've tested all of my rings. Every one of my gold rings that I want to find, right? Silver rings are gonna ring up. Silver rings are gonna ring up in the quarter tone or higher. So I already know. I mean, when quarters come in at like a 90, 89, 90 on this spectrum. Okay, 89, 90 is a quarter. And all silvers come up right there or beyond that. So I don't have to worry about notching. I pretty much dig everything from a quarter on up, or actually a dime on up. Okay? So, that being said, I tested all of my jewelry, the gold, and the gold kept on firing at the same numbers, man. They fired at 56, 57, 58, anywhere in that range. Those 3 are the sweet numbers, okay? So, as you guys have seen with the Q40, I went out and I had a wonderful time, and I found all those rings that came up under those 3 numbers, and it just I got spoiled with it, man. You know, that's the thing that killed the Q30 is the Q40. I just got spoiled with that fact that I could just notch out 1 or 2 numbers and I leave everything else in. Iron, of course, is automatically notched out. The actual program that I'm running, it automatically notches everything that is below, you know, in the negative integers. I don't want to find iron. I don't care for that. But everything from foil on up, I want to keep. All right, so I couldn't find too many good things about the Q30 to keep it. Now, there were some great features on it, but they were mostly cosmetic, right? I liked the fact that it has the sliding handle, right? That has one cam lock below it that you flick, and the arm will slide up and down. Can I live without it? Yeah, because I can still adjust the handle on the Q40. You got to undo 3 screws, and then you can just move it and then lock it. Once you've locked it to your own arm, dude, you don't need to adjust it no more. That's cool, but not really necessary. So number 2, they came with this new arm cuff right here. And it had the little thing where you can put your pointer in. That's nice. I see guys doing that, but I really don't do it. I use the way I carry it with my pouch. I carry two of the pinpointers. I didn't need to do that. Plus, it would make it back heavy, and that would cause another issue all in itself. Now, the thing about this detector, when I bought it, this one did not come with the thing on the bottom. I actually had to make my own, right? It came just like this, with the U and just this back piece. It didn't have this right here. This, I ordered a piece from off of a Garrett. So I just went online. I just ordered the arm cuff, not the top, just the lower portion of the Garrett Ace, and then I just modified it. I just took a Dremel, I drilled it out, and cleaned up the inside to make it where it would actually fit along the bottom. And then I ran a few screws under it to keep it proper and tight fitting. Add a little bit of carbon fiber pizzazz to it, and so I've got my own little thing now. So when I sit it on the ground, without this little X thing on the ground, it would just flip over and fall down. And when I have my camera attached to it, there's no way that I can film that way. So I had to make that little simple modification, but that worked just fine. Okay, so anyways, that's the reason why I'm basically sending it back. The other thing that I liked about it is it has this like a visor, like a little ball cap that goes across it all the way around the top and the sides. That ball cap, that rubberized ball cap, was really cool because if it fell over, it would just hit on the rubber and it wouldn't dent or break the control box. And it also it gave you some deflection of sunlight, so when it hit the screen, you could see the LCD really good. I like the way they designed the LCD on this, because I mean it basically looked just like an Equinox. You know, the big numbers, I like the big numbers. I like the way they did the sweep on here. The modes on here were a little bit different. I'm used to the Park 1, Park 2, Field 1, Field 2, Beach 1, Beach 2, and I didn't have any of that. It was just Park, Beach, no, Park, Field. There was 2 beaches and 2 prospects. I don't use the prospect, so to me that was like having a 4-bedroom house, but 1 bedroom you don't ever even go in, so it's like a waste of money to have that feature. You don't even use that. So that was kind of bad. And also the coil options, right? The Q30 came with 1 coil, which was the Raptor coil. This one right here. This exact same coil that's on my Q40 is the exact same coil that is on the Q30. The only problem is this is a 13 kilohertz coil, and that's a 14. And so they're not swappable. I tried it. The pinouts are completely different. They don't even look the same, so I couldn't use them. And that was one of the things that I wanted, because the Q40 combo pack that I had, it came with this Raptor coil, and it also came with a 9 by 5 inch sniper coil that came with it, and both of those work on this, would not work on that. So I mean, all in all, man, I just didn't have enough reasons to keep it. Behavior wise, would I recommend the Q30? Yeah, I would. If you haven't had any experience, and sometimes, man, having experience with other detectors, if you don't have me having a time with this is what destroyed that. Had I not had any time on this machine right here, I probably would have just kept that, pending that the speaker and the jack situation got fixed. I would have had to send that back for another one anyways. But I'm not gonna go there, man. I mean, I even looked at the Quest Pro, and the Quest Pro is the elite line from Quest. The Quest Pro has 3 frequencies on it, so it's not simultaneous, but you have the options to switch through the frequencies. Yeah, that's cool, I guess. But I found a lot. I mean, with this right here and the 13 kilohertz, I got all those rings at the pitcher's mound. Now I went out there today to a different park, and I went out there and I searched the heck out of it as hard as I could, and unfortunately every 56, 57, 58 signal that should have been a ring, it was pull tab foil nickel. Pull tab foil nickel. Okay? Now, am I mad about that? No. I am not mad about pull tab foil nickel. Okay? I am mad about this. I do not like pennies, man. Pennies are a complete waste of my time, man. You know, my time is important to me. And pennies, whatever. I know that some people say, oh, you're going to lose a class ring, man, because the class ring rings up as a penny. Okay, man. I'm willing to gamble and say I'm going to miss out on 10K. Okay? 10 carat rings ring up like this. 14 carat rings do not ring up like pennies. Okay? 14 carat rings for me rings up like nickels. So I'm willing to forego a 10 carat ring. I mean, I don't know how often you're going to find that, to never dig this garbage right here, because I don't want to waste my time. So I went out there today and I dug 100 targets, okay? And it didn't even seem like I did a whole lot, but when I came back home and I took out all the garbage, I counted all the pieces of garbage that I had, and there must have been 55 pieces of trash. And then I took a look at all the clad that I had, and the clad was like another 53 pieces of clad. So over 100 targets, you know, that I hunted today, and no jewelry. Okay, so yeah, I mean, hey man, sometimes it's a bust. But anyways, that was the reason right there that the Q30 is going back. Not that it's a bad detector. Like I said, those were the 2 things that I had: a low speaker volume that I couldn't get to go higher, and then the actual jack in the back for the headphones didn't work either. So that's gone. So anyways, I wanted to answer one before we close this thing out, because we're climbing on 20 minutes. I had a message from El Del Squacho, and he told me, he sent me a message. He goes, "Hey bro, are you faking the fines again?" He says, "Just kidding, man." He goes, "Excellent stuff. I often think about all of the jewelry I'm missing because of my blinding focus for coins." He goes, I know I've missed something great by doing so. I've got to change my strategy, I think, just like you've been talking about. And yeah, man, I even sent him back a message, and I wrote to him. I said, Squatcho, hey bro, okay, here's the real story. I'm a fairly lazy cherry picking detectorist. Okay, not 100% pure nor correct, if there is such a thing. All right. But for me, when I'm alone and I'm cold and I'm tired and I'm not really having fun anymore, I switch to cherry picking quarters and higher silver jewelry. If it doesn't beep loud and crisp, I just don't stop. And that's why I wasn't finding much gold or fine jewelry. I would come home with either a bunch of clad or quarters, but that would be the day, and I would just walk away from every other signal. When I'm in a rush and I just want to get out of a park, I just don't look. I said, the evening that I took the Quest Q40 to the park, and the very last target hit 57, nickel pull tab tone, I became addicted to hunting the low numbers. That was the night that I found that, that 14 karat gold ring. The last target of the night, man, pulled that thing out. And now I've become addicted to that 57, 57 number. Now I want anything that comes in from 52 to 60, I'm pulling. Yes, I pull lots more tabs and nickels, but I'm sharp on the gold. And I hit all those rings. I hit all those rings. I hit 6 of those in 3 days, yeah, man. So, yeah, I switched the way that I was detecting. I found a whole new excitement level. I've proved to myself that if the gold rings are out there, and they have to be there, okay, guys, I'm tuned mentally, and my machine programming is set to hunt and find exactly what I'm looking for. The key things for me, man, when you guys are going to look for this stuff is that you need to be where people habitate. Okay? You got to go where the people are. Look, man, jewelry doesn't just fall out of the sky. Jewelry is brought to a park because people bring them to the park. Okay? People drop the jewelry. You got to go where the people are going to go, and they have to do the activities that would make them lose jewelry. Okay? So don't just wish it to be there. Reason it to be there. There has to be a reason for what you're looking for to be there, right? To me, guys, there's 2 types of finds. There's coincidental droppings, and then there are reason finds. A coincidental dropping just happened to be by fluke, coincidence. Somebody dropped a ring in this field out here. This boring, desolate, abandoned field that you want to go to, and you want to find what? You want to find jewelry, and you want to go to that place right there that looks like somebody died out there and was buried and forgotten. That's where you think you're going to find the jewelry? Well, I live in Vegas, guys, so I'm willing to bet the odds that doesn't have that out there. At least my time, for me, I don't want to be there. I'm going to go over here to where this park has soccer practice every single day. Little kiddies come out there and play Pop Warner football, baseball, all this stuff. And the mothers are all sitting along the side of the park. I'm willing to go to where the park is, that all the mothers are sitting along the side with their lawn chairs and they're watching their kids play. I see this goings on, and I'm willing to bet that what I'm looking for has a higher probability of being there. It's just like fishing, man. If you want to go fishing and then you tell me, I'm going to go fishing, I'm like, okay, so where are we going to go fishing? He goes, I'm going to go over here to this pond. And I'm like, pond? Is there fish in there? He goes, I don't know, but there's water over there. I'm like, bro, is there any proof that there's fish over there, bro? I mean, have you ever seen anybody fish? Is that groundwater that came up? Is it a ground table? Is that runoff from the storm drains that filled that up? What makes you believe that there's fish in there? Have you seen any evidence of fish being over there? No. But you want to go over there and fish. That's like a detectorist that's hard-headed, and he wants to go and will something to be at a park or I'm not even going to say park, just a green area that nobody goes to. He goes, I want to go there because nobody goes there, so I'm not going to be bothered. Well, you're not going to be bothered with finding any jewelry either because nobody goes there. Now, me, as a fisherman, I'll be out there with my pole. I'm like, well, you're going to go to that pond that you don't know if there's any fish. There is an actual pond over here that's got an actual dock on it, okay? A dock. And you could stare over at the dock and you could see fish swimming around. I'm gonna go over here and fish because I know there's fish in it, all right? You can go over there to that pond and wish for a fish to be over there. I'm not gonna go waste my time like that, guys. So in the wise words of Paystreak, you guys need to go to a park and the item that you're looking for has to be there, okay? It has to be there and you have to physically walk over it. If you don't walk over it and it's not there, it's not gonna happen for you guys. All right, so anyways, man, thank you so much again for tuning in to another Tech Talk, man. This is Tech Talk, 33, and I'm Joey, and I'm gonna run. I got some more things that I want to bring up to you. I have this awesome little thing that I bought the other day from Grey Ghost, man, and this is the new ultimate catch-all pouch. Dude, this ain't just the average everyday pouch, man. This right here is a game changer to how I actually go out and detect now. This is all I bring with me, and I'm going to discuss more of this on the next Tech Talk. So guys, stay tuned. I'll be back again. You guys be well. Joey, take care.